Hi, my name is Ed, and this is SouthBayAerialPhotography.com. This is a short video on how we create real estate media. So today we'll discuss some of the challenges we experience here in the South Bay, the different formats we use just briefly, and here would be the final products. So this is my home. I was overly conservative and staying away from my neighbors, which resulted in the rear pics being taken at height. For a client, we would do what we have to do to get the proper view and get the proper angle on the shot. Now this is a real good example of those auto exposure brackets and how they managed to bring out the shadows, because this particular photo is notorious for being extremely dark on this side of the home, whereas in this particular case we can see that I actually have only painted half this wall. To my wife, I apologize. Also, note the blurring on the edges in the final product and how we bring out the mid detail on the home alone and not on the outside areas. Here are the morning panoramas that I shot. They came out just wonderful. This one looking in the back, of course, is with the sunset, and that was just incredible. It's nice to get up in the morning. In this case, though, we managed to do real well. What follows next is several different options for videos that we have available to us. We also can insert local media in the front and the back as the customer wishes. The process is how we do this. We'll follow these videos. So today we'll discuss some of the challenges we experience here in the South Bay, the different formats we use just briefly. Then we'll go over the process of how we take the photos and videos, and then the post-processing. We'll look at the end product. Okay, photos are typically concentrated on the entryways on the front and the back of the home with exceptions. 3 photos from each side are taken. The goal is to assure complete coverage with even margin on the top and bottom, and the drone is typically shot just above the beginning of the roof line, optimally. We take photos with 3 front and 3 rear. With overlap, they're straight on and then 1 on each side. This is photo post-processing step 1. Each final HDR pic starts with 5 high-definition auto-exposure bracketed photos, which are aligned and then degaussed and combined for the best exposure. Photo post-processing step 2 is enhancement and debris removal. And as one can see here, this is where we picked out little bits of debris such as the front of the building, and then over here we have a little chair, and there's a wire that sticks out. Now, this is my house, and this is not photo ready to be sold. Other homes, I'm sure, wouldn't have all these things that have to be removed, but it is a good example of what we can do. Now, this is a zoomed in view of the backyard, so we can see what some of the things that we managed to remove, and little plates and things like the tent was made into an umbrella. It did a good job of removing the ladder here. Which brings us to post-processing for photos. Step 3, which is to blur out the sides and the background. Now, typically, if we have a nice sky or something like that, we'll leave that clear so that the eye is drawn to that, as well as which should be just above the top of the building, so it should be an emphasis. And we will emphasize the entire property by making sure it's enhanced while the background is not. And step 4 is sky replacement, which is performed if necessary. And here would be the final products. Okay, so next we take the drone and we go up to the balconies and we shoot panoramas from anywhere there is a view, or even from the top of the house, so we get a nice view. Here are the morning panoramas that I shot. They came out just wonderful. Next we shoot an aerial video of the home. A particular part of the home is typically referenced as a point of interest, and both automated and manual controls are used to get the smoothest and best video of the front and the rear of the home. The home and the surrounding area are emphasized. Several videos are taken featuring different views of the home, and then we combine those to create approximately a 1-minute video. We use fly-ins and verticals, and they're performed for the front and the rear, and then we use asteroid and fly-arounds to get a 360-degree view of the property. The property is emphasized, tracked, and enhanced while the background is blurred, and then we can add beginning and ending videos that feature the surrounding area, as well as music as is requested. Regarding challenges, some of the primary challenges are the proximity of the homes, power lines, and obstacles. We can overcome this by using different angles and heights, and also obstacle removal during post-processing to a certain degree. Bright sunlight, especially in the South Bay, often results in too white or oversaturation, and also the shadows can be very dark. We use different capabilities of the drone to overcome all of the issues here, including auto exposure brackets in this case. Gusty winds at 11:30 on, and haze and smog can be overcome both by shooting in the morning when the wind is down and the smog is down. For those who are interested in the technical side of things, these are specifications that we typically shoot at. We shoot in 4K, 60 frames per second, in a 16:9 and a DJI log format, which is a high dynamic range format. Photos